Hey guys, this is Sir Haynes with the fourth video of my video game collection, PS3 collection update. And this time I'm covering from my 184th game to my 239th game. So we are way past half of my collection. And let's get started. The first one here I'm going to show you, it's a audience sphere. This is the PAL version of the game. I ordered it on Amazon. I am one of those guys that if I wanna get a game and I cannot find it on Marketplace, on Craigslist or something on the cheap, I'll eventually order it online, Amazon, eBay. I sometimes do this when buying games that I select the PAL version, because usually PAL versions are a bit cheaper than the American versions. The only thing I am not sure if the American version has for this game is a manual. If you see, it doesn't have any. It has just like this little warranty thing. No manual at all. But the disc, well, it's brand new. and uh, And yes, I haven't played this game. It's another Atlas published game that I wanted and I want to try eventually, but I haven't tried because, well, too many games. Next up is another, it's not like a hidden gem, but it's a hard to come by game, which is the Orange Box. This one says 5 games on 1, which basically is Half-Life Episode 2, and I think it says like 5 games because I think it has like 2 additional content for Half-Life, the 2 additional episodes. I'm not 100% sure. It has Portal and Team Fortress. Unfortunately, Team Fortress has been shut down last February. EA decided to shut down several of their PS3, 360, and I think also PC servers for older games. Team Fortress was included. Battlefield Bad Company 1 was included. Another older Battlefield was also included. Medal of Honor and Medal of Honor Warfighter were also shut down. And Bad Company 2 will shut down, I think, by December or October of this year, something like that. And that sucks because Battlefield Bad Company 2 is my favorite war game. That is one of the games that I have played the most online. That one and probably Call of Duty Ghosts, which for some reason, if you remember, I mentioned that that's one of my favorite Call of Duty games. And I think Modern Warfare 2. Also, I played a lot of that one, the original one. So here, this one came with the manual, and I played a little Portal. It is a fun game. I played a little bit of Half-Life, but as usual, when they port a game from PC to console, the controls are not very responsive. I always found that when they port a game from PC to console, like I mean, it's like more, it's a bit faster for some reason. I mean, and like, I call it like the character slide. They slide for some reason. I don't know. You're pressing the stick to walk or run, whatever. You release the stick and they usually stop, unless some of the games they have like this little like force to them when they can't stop because they're just like breaking. I don't know how to say that properly. But not with those. I remember when I played Half-Life on PS2, the same happened. I found it like it was like too fast or something. Another game here that I have, it's Payday 2 Safe Cracker Edition. I like that this sleeve is it's a bit of 3D here. It has like texture. The cool thing about this is that it features the full game plus 3 DLC packs, a glossy art card, and embroidered Dallas mask patch. I assume this guy is Dallas. I haven't played it that much, and the patch is actually, it's kind of neat. It's small, but it's kind of neat. And one thing though that I think was cool is that even though the codes expired like in 2014 or something, I was able to use them when I got the game by 2019. So when you get a new game for the PS2 or any other console and it has like included DLC or something, just try the code. They sometimes work. Next up is another Atlas game, and that is Persona Arena Ultimax 4. This game has this is like the do you know like how is the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and there is the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with included characters like Ultra Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter Arcade Edition are like improved versions of Super Street Fighter 4, or I mean Street Fighter 4, and this is the same here. I'm trying to get the original Persona 4 Arena. Hopefully, I'll get it, but I haven't seen it yet. What it says here is that it has new skill system modes and shadow characters, fighters online, but it doesn't say like how many characters there are. But still, I have played it once, but I'm not very good at it. And here's another Atlas game. This is the Persona 5 game. I got this when it was like $9 on Amazon. It started to go up in price. Then it came the PS4, and I also think that there's a Switch version of the game. I'm not sure. And the game started to go a little bit up on price, but I got it for $9, and it has no manual. Next up is a Plants vs. Zombies. I wanted to get this game because it includes Peggle, and back in the day, by 2009, 2010, 2009, 2011 or so, or 2008 in 2010, I think, I purchased my first laptop. It was a MacBook G4, I think, from 2004. And on that computer, I used to download my PSP games, and I also downloaded a pack of PC games, which included PopCup games, included Peggle, Chuzzle. It also had Bejeweled 3, and it also had Suma. So this one has Peggle, Heavy Weapon, and Plants vs. Zombies, which I have played a little bit of all. And the one that I enjoy a lot was Heavy Weapon. You control a little tank that goes from left to right, and it works like a rail shooter, where you have like planes, cars, whatever you get attacking you, and you just move your little car tank or something and shoot with the other stick. You have like additional weapons, and you can upgrade your car, which is kind of cool. And it has like this kind of metal soundtrack, which is also kind of neat. And next up is the Prince of Persia 3D. I mean HD. This game, I played a little bit of the second game in the PSP. The PSP was my main console from like 2006 to like 2011 when I got my PS3. So I haven't played much of Prince of Persia. I do remember the original Prince of Persia back on DOS. One of my neighbors used to have it, and I kind of liked it. Next up is Prototype. This is a game by Activision, published by Activision, and it's an action game, sort of like Infamous, where you're like the ultimate weapon of destruction. And I haven't played it, but I heard great things about this game. I also have the sequel here, and something that I recommend you if you don't have the first game and you have the sequel, or if you want to play the games in order, if you don't want to spoil the first game, don't read the back of the case, because here it gives you a brief story of the game, but it also spoils you the end of the first one. So I did that, but still, I already like I had already like spoiled that for me on top 10s. Next up is a very unique game, and one of the later games for the PS3, which is the Puppeteer. Sadly, this game came when the PS4 was already released, or was about to release. And this is a very cool platformer where you use this little dude called Kotaro, and the artwork, the story is kind of funny. But what I like is the artwork and how the game looks, because you are like in a theater, and even to any action on the screen, the audience kind of reacts. And the mechanic is that you can change your head, and each head gives you different power ups, and you also have your weapon, which are the scissors that serves their purpose, and they have like many abilities. Next is a game that I got with no manual, and I'm not sure. I think this is like an action game or something, and that is Quantum Theory by Tecmo. I haven't played it, and I think I read somewhere or something that the game was kind of cool, so I'm looking forward to it. Like many of my games. Here's a 3D an HD collection that I never got to play in the PS2, and that is the Ratchet and Clank collection. I only played Ratchet and Clank Size Matters on the PSP, and also Secret Agent Clank, which were fun. But I never got to experience the games here. These are from Insomniac. This is where Insomniac went after they finished the original Spyro trilogy, which is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, platforming series of all time. And I haven't played the second much and the third much for on Spyro, but I remember that the first one is like my favorite. And I recently completed my PS1 collection for the Spyro trilogy, and also the Crash trilogy plus CTR. I don't have Crash Bash, and I might not get it because that's not by Naughty Dog. So this is a game that a lot of people hated, but I found the game to be fun. It has these glitches as many games, but I did enjoy it, and I plan to continue playing it. And that is Rage. This is a post-apocalyptic game published by Bethesda, and also I think this was also with id Software, the creators of Doom. And the game is a lot like Borderlands, and it's those kind of post-apocalyptic games like Fallout, those games where it's basically an RPG, and those kind of games, that it has those kind of uh, missions where, hey, I can help you, but you gotta help me first, and it kind of gets boring sometimes to do those kind of missions. But the game it is kind of cool. This is a game that I think is also available for the beta, and that is Ragnarok Odyssey. I haven't played this game. I wanted to get this game when I saw that it was like Exceed game. Exceed. They had another name previously. I don't remember what it was. I think this is the guys that were the guys that used to publish the Lunar games, I think. Lunar games on the PS1, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played the game, but I'll eventually get to it. And it looks okay, it looks cool. And I think that the reviews favor more the PS Vita version, I think, but still. Next up is Rayman Origins. I played a little bit about this game. The game looks beautiful. It's very fun, and I never played a Rayman game before, sadly, but I know these games are very good. So that's Rayman Origins. I'm looking for Legends. I haven't found it yet. Next up is one of my favorite Rockstar games, and that is Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year Edition. It is a greatest hits games, but I have it on a clear box because, remember, I hate red boxes. I used to have the original Red Dead Redemption, but then I remember a kid. I used to have FIFA 13, and I mean, I used to have Red Dead Redemption when I got this. I got this for like 200 pesos. That's $16, say $17, and the kid wanted to have Red Dead Redemption, and for some reason I wanted to have FIFA because that's the FIFA 13 is when they first introduced the local team here in Tijuana, and I lent the game to one of my cousins, and he never returned it. But so what the hell? that happens when your family. I don't know. Fuck it. Red Dead Redemption. This one has the Undead Nightmare, which I played a little bit of it, but I'm not much into the zombie variant of games. I do have some, and I do have enjoyed some, but eventually I'll do it. But the reason why I haven't played it much is because since I have a lot of games and I play one game, then I go to another, I forget how to play the game. So eventually I'll return to Red Dead Redemption, remember how to play the game, and then I may go to Undead Nightmare. Next up is the Red Faction Complete. I never knew this collection existed. I think this was brought up in 2014 when THQ started to go down. And the reason why I wanted to have this game is because I used to have Red Dead Redemption Guerrilla. I used to have Red Dead Redemption Armageddon separately. But on my PS2, I used to have in love Red Faction. I said Red Dead Redemption, sorry. I used to have Red Faction on my PS2. Loved the game, the first one. I really like the Geo mod, which basically any 3D environment can be destructed. Then I got the second one, and it was a bit of a disappointment. Then I heard there was a Guerrilla, and it was like an open world 3D, but the Geo mod was highly improved, and I really liked the game. Then I got Armageddon, and once again, it was a bit of a letdown compared to the previous one, but it's better than the second one. And this one includes Guerrilla, Armageddon in a disc, but it also has the download code for Red Faction 2 and Red Faction 1 and 2. So I'm currently playing 2. I'm currently playing 1, then I'll go to 2, then Guerrilla, and then I'll finish Armageddon, which I'm close to the finish line. Now, this is the next one is a game that I heard a lot of people also hate it, but I started to play it and I kind of enjoyed it, and I couldn't stop until I finished it, and that is Remember Me by Capcom. This is a futuristic game, and I don't remember much of the game, but I do remember that it was fun, so you may give it a try. Next up is Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition. I haven't played it much, but I heard that Shiva sucks as your companion unless it's controlled by another human. And one thing that I did notice is that I think that the servers are still up, so I might eventually get to play it. Resistance! Launch title for the PS3, and I wanted to have it because I heard great things about this game, and it's also made by Insomniac. I got the game, I finished the game, I really enjoyed it. The only thing that made it a bit difficult to me is that I got used to the DualShock, so this game does not support vibration, but it does controls well. But it goes back or basically I go back to those days when the games didn't offer any kind of vibration or something, and on shooters I like kind of missed when they hit me. Next up is Resistance 2, which I'm currently playing. I think I'm more than half of the game done, but this one it's fairly difficult. I'm actually on this section for this kind of chimera kind of zombies. Next up is one of the hardest games I played, or hardest games to understand. I have tried it. I don't understand the mechanics. I know it's a rare game, and I don't mean by rare, but it's a rare game, and I think this has been starting to be a cult classic or something, and going up in price. This is made by Tri-Ace, the guys that made Valkyrie Profile on the PS1 and Valkyrie Profile Lenneth on the PSP, and that is Resonance of Fate. This is an RPG, and it is very weird to know the mechanics. I'll give it another try later on because I've heard that the game is very good after you master the mechanics. Next up is the Chronicles of Riddick Assault on Dark Athena. This is always regarded as one of the best licensed games there is. And this one includes 2 games: Escape from Butcher Bay on HD, which I think was released for the Dreamcast, I think. The Dreamcast PC, PS2, I'm not sure. And it also has the other one, the Assault on Dark Athena. Next up is Ridge Racer 7. I played Ridge Racer back on the PSP, and I loved the hell out of it. I played the first one, the second one, and this is one of those games that are very fast-paced, and I mean, the cover is all screwed up, like it got wet or something, and it doesn't have like any manual, but it runs at 60 frames per second. And also, I was watching a video the other day that this is one of those rare games that still has the servers up, and I mean rare because this is a launch title for the PS3. I haven't played it yet, but again, I played a lot of PSP. Next up is Ridge Racer Unbounded. A lot of people didn't like the new mechanics that this one has. It's like a destructive mechanics, kind of like MotorStorm. On this one, I also got the PAL version, which was cheaper than the American version. This was including a DLC, which I'm not sure if it's still active, but I cannot use it because DLC is region locked, though the games are not region locked. This one says that expires 29/03/2017, but I'm not sure if it's still up and active. Next up is one of those called classic games on the PS3, sorry, which is The Saboteur. The Saboteur is a game in the World War II era. You are in Paris, and you are fighting for a resistance, trying to liberate from the Nazi occupation. And one thing that is very original about this game that everybody says, and I'll say it too, is that the game is in black and white, but when you liberate a town, a city, the game starts to go in color, and that is something very cool. It has like those kind of parkour mechanics you find in games like Assassin's Creed, and the game it's a very, very entertaining game. Next up is Sega Rally Revo. I'm assuming that's for Revolution. This game I used to have on my PSP, and you will notice that a lot of the games that I have, I used to have it on the PSP, and I played it a lot on the PSP. I was very good at the PSP. I played it here, and I sucked, and I suck at it, but I'll try to master it. Next up is a fighting game. Oh, no, sorry. Next up is Saints Row the 4th, and this game, I was trying to find the game in its original case, but I wasn't able to do. And the reason why I got this game like this is because on the PlayStation Store, I remember I purchased the edition that has all the DLC included, but for some reason, like the file in the store got corrupted, and each time I try to load up the game, it will crash my PS3. I tried it several times. I deleted the game, downloaded the game again, and still crashed my PS3. So I didn't want my saves to be like busted, my hard drive to be formatted. So I decided to get the game because I really like the game. I beat the game. It's very, very fun. And next up is Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. This is based on an anime, I believe. And I haven't played the game. I think this is like a beat 'em up game. But I got it because it's I never seen it, and this is a Capcom game, and I got it for fairly cheap. Next up is one of my favorite games here on my collection, and this is Shadows of the Damned by Suda51, the same that gave us the Lollipop Chainsaw game and other ridiculous fun games. And this game, by looking at it, it could be like a scary game, and at times people may believe that it is actually a scary game. And while the game may attempt to that, the game is not scary. The game is a lot of fun, and it's very funny because you have your gun here, and your gun is called your Johnson, and it gives you a lot of jokes about its name, about how it changes its form and everything. And the character is very cool, actually. And next up is a game that I haven't played, and I heard that the PS3 version and the 360 version are the worst, and that is Shadow of Mordor. I love Lord of the Rings. Uh, I haven't read the books, but I'm one of those guys that love the movies, but I like the extended editions. And I never wanted to watch the Hobbit. That didn't interest me at all. One book break into three movies was just too much. Next up is Singularity. This is a game a la Bioshock published by Activision, and I think this was released by Raven Software. Um, this has this little like gauntlet that resets and also manipulates time. So you may get to a point where you find a broken bridge, you use it, and you restore the bridge, something like that. You can use it to also fight your enemies. This is a game that I found on a rare release game. I think this was on Metal Jesus Rocks video, which is one of my favorite YouTubers, and this is Ski-Doo Snowmobile Challenge. I got the game before, and the game didn't have like any scratches, but for some reason it didn't work. So I contacted the person. They said that they will absolutely change the game, but as it happens a lot, they didn't. They disappeared. But the game was just like 100 pesos, so like $6. So it's not that big of a loss. But I got this game again, and I got it for like 115 pesos, 150 pesos. Next up is also another great game in my collection, and that is Sleeping Dogs. And I really like this game because I was a very big fan of the True Crime series. I really liked True Crime Streets of LA, and I really liked True Crime New York, especially because New York you can go into basically and literally almost every building, and they're a very fun game. And this was also a very good addition. Another collection that I didn't get to play on the PS2, and this is the Sly Cooper collection. Sly Cooper 1 and 2 are Sly Cooper 1 and 2 with Jak and Daxter, the first game, are the only games that I platinum on my trophies. So I'm currently playing the third game, and it is fun, but it changed a little bit on how you get the trophies, so I might not get a platinum on that one. Next up is Sniper Elite Silver Star Edition. I got this from Amazon. I think it was like $25. And this edition includes all the DLC, and this is included in the disc, so you don't need to worry about downloading anything. I played like a couple missions, and it can be a bit difficult, but it's one of those games that requires kind of to be patient. And next up is Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition, which I believe it also has all the DLC in the disc. I actually got this used, and I got it with a manual, so that was a big plus. This is a disappointing game, and this is one of the last games from Cypric Interactive, and yes, that is Socom 4. I played a little bit of Socom on the PS1, but I loved Fireteam Bravo on the PSP. I used to play that game a lot, and when I got this game, and I saw that that it supported the headset, sadly the headset does not work as it used to on the PS2, and I think also in the PSP. Because on the headset you could give orders to your guys, and this time it does not work like that. It's just only to hear your guys comes through the headset, which sucks. This is another rare game, and not a very good one, or at least not to reviews, but I wanted to have it because I used to have the original on the PS2, and I think I still have it, I'm not sure. That is the Soldier of Fortune Payback. If you're not familiar with Soldier of Fortune, it's a game that it was very famous because it was very violent. It was one of the first games to like Mortal Kombat, to like display violence and gore like never before. You could just use a shotgun on a guy, and basically the guts were hanging out and that sort of stuff. And the first one was okay. It had that thing that I mentioned earlier about PC games on console where they kind of move too fast, but it was a fun game overall. Next up is Sonic Sega All Stars Racing. This is the first game for the first racer for Sonic on the PS3. I played a little bit of it and I'm enjoying it. And I play a little bit of it because I'm playing more of all Stars Sonic and All Stars Transformed. This game is like Mario Kart. I don't remember if it's like 7 or 8. And what happened is that you may be driving your car, you get to a section where there's no more road, it's only like a lake or the sea, and your car turns to a boat, but then you fall off a cliff, your car turns to, or your boat turns to a plane, and it is very fun. It is very difficult actually, but it is very fun. It has a lot of characters from Sega. It has also Danica Patrick from I'm not sure if she's from any Sega game racer or something, but it has Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph from Disney, and it has Sega characters like this guy from Shinobi, the the one from Knights and all that, and it is kind of cool. Next up is Sonic Generations, and this one is very fun. The game you can use both Sonic, the older Sonic and the newer Sonic, and each Sonic has its own type of level. The old Sonic, it's 2.5 3D game. It's basically a side scroller with 3D graphics. This Sonic does not talk, at least it hasn't talked. And the second one, the other one is the newer Sonic from Sonic Adventures, which can talk, and the stages are fully 3D, and it is fun to play between both. This is another game that I was looking forward, and this is the Sonic Ultimate Collection, and yes, another greatest hits game. But actually, just the greatest hits label. The game is a black label, which is a plus. I didn't notice that. And I'm not sure if it comes with a manual, but this one doesn't. It has a lot of Sega classics there. Next up is a game that I haven't played, but I heard good things about it, and that is Space Marine Warhawk 400 Warhawk 40K Space Marine. I think this was regarded like a kind of like a Gears of War game, and I haven't played it yet, but eventually I will because it looks a lot of fun, and I've heard that it is a lot of fun. One of my favorite shooters is Spec Ops: The Line. This game, I heard a lot of great things about this game, and when I got it, played it, it didn't disappoint at all. This is a crude game. If you play the game, you're in for a surprise. You're in for your emotions. So give it a try. And it is one of the best shooters you can find on on the system. It is one of the best, if one of the best three third-person shooters ever. And man, it's just like an amazing game. Next up, other game that started to go up in price. Yes, this is Spider-Verse: Edge of Time. Um, this game started to go up in price because Activision lost the rights to Marvel, and um, while Spider-Man is owned by Sony, um, uh, they Activision has the rights to make Spider-Man games since PS1. I remember playing the first one. I really liked it. I didn't play it much. I played the Spider-Man based on the first movie. I liked it. I played Spider-Man 2 on the PSP, sadly, and it was okay. And then I started to hear about the newer Spider games as they came out. And when I heard that they lost the license and the game started to go up in price, I said, hey, as soon as I see him, I'll snag him. So I got this one, and I also got the Shattered Dimensions, which is regarded as one of the best games there for Spider-Man, besides the Insomnia game and Spider-Man 2. Another very difficult game to find, it's Splatterhouse. I play a little bit about this game, and I really liked what I played, but it is a difficult game. This is published by Namco, and the game revolves about a dude that this is no spoiler. His girl gets killed. He gets killed. He has a mask and he gets possessed and turned into this. Mm, well, yes, like turns into this dude. Very violent, but very fun. These are games that I got when I ordered my other PlayStation Move controller or my PlayStation Move controller. It came uh, with the fight, and it also came with these ones. Sport Champions, which is like the Sony's answer to Wii Sports. You can't expect much about these games, but they can be fun. Next up is I didn't know that this one existed as this, but still I got it. Doesn't have the manual, but that is the Soul Calibur 4 Tekken 6 pack. It has the 2 discs, so so that's it. Next up is a Soul Calibur 5, and yes, it is a red box, but the game is a black label game, so I might later put it on a clear box. And I remember playing Soul Calibur on the PS2. I loved the extra mode where you kind of work. It kind of works like an RPG, but I was never very good at it. Next up is SSX. I played a little bit about this game, and I did kind of like it, but I never played the PS2 version. So PS2, I think the SSX Tricky is regarded as the best, and they say that this changed a little bit on how SSX used to be, but I still kind of liked it. I got this game by chance and very cheap, and that is Star Ocean: The Last Hope. I was looking at this game on Amazon, and I was looking at that it was not like very accessible, but I saw it on Marketplace, and I said, "Hey, let's get it," and I got it. I haven't played much of it. I played a little bit of Star Ocean and Star Ocean 2, but the PSP remakes, and I enjoy what I played of them. I played a little bit of it, but they were kind of cool. Sorry. Next up is another game that I got with another bunch of games, and that is Star Wars: The Clone Wars Republic Heroes. This was actually, they gave me the game in a Blu-ray box, so it came with a manual with the cover. So I decided to put it on an actual clear case. And the last game for today's video is Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. This is a game that, again, as many of my games, I used to play a lot of the game and beat the game on the PSP. And playing this game on the PS3 now, either I forgot how the game goes, or I found new sections that I didn't find on the PSP version, as I did with Dante's Inferno. But what I'm playing so far, I'm liking it a lot, and it is one of the best Star Wars games that I played. I used to play a lot of the original Battlefront games on PS2. One of my friends on college used to lend me those games, and I played the hell out of them. And I also like the PSP games, and all of them. I played all of them, most of this Battlefront games, I mean, and I really liked them. But The Force Unleashed, I think, is one of the best Star Wars games besides Battlefront, and basically as an adventure game, because the way they use the Force reminds me a lot of Legacy of Kain Defiance, when you're using Kain and you can control persons with your telekinesis. So that's something that reminded me of that game, and that is one of the reasons why I like The Force Unleashed. Plus, the game is very cool, and it is kind of lengthy, and that's it for today. My last video is gonna be less games, or at least the last part of my collection is gonna be like less games. But I hope that you enjoyed my list, and thank you very much for watching my videos. I've been getting like between 30 to 60 views, which is kind of cool, and I really appreciate that. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you are enjoying my videos. Again, sorry if my English is a bit lackluster, but it's not my first language. My first language is Spanish, so I give it a try. I work at a call center, so I think I'm good. So thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.